Been a hot minute since we checked in here, hasn't it? Okay. How are you doing, people? It's been a little while. So I'm not going to mess around in this video because I actually have 4 more to film after this, all before January the 1st, and it's currently Christmas Day 2024, so let's get into it and let's not mess around. So initially this video was supposed to have like a positive outcome, but things took a turn midway through the year, and I'm going to explain what happened. So I'll get the negative bit out of the way first, and as of now, as of December 2024, I'm not attending university anymore. And I currently won't be being until the situation is resolved. I'm not going to go into detail because it's not right to do that online while the situation is still kind of ongoing, but basically something happened at work and I was off for nearly 5 months, and work basically have now put a stop to me going to uni because so as of filming this video, I'm still trying to fix the situation with uni. I don't know what it involves now moving forward, but it will get resolved. Believe me, it will get resolved. I'm supposed to be at that uni, so ain't nothing going to stop me going. So I am fixing to try and return as of now, really, but I feel like it might be a bit of a longer process and a long drawn out process until we can get it resolved. So this video is not exactly the video I wanted to make, but it's the video I need to make. So now the negative bits out of the way, let's get into the actual breakdown of my first year at uni, which is what the original intention of this video was. Also, shout out Jayhawk from Lab Culture. Man's making moves at the minute. So I did a video on the 5th of the 10th, 2023 that was titled "University is a Daunting Place," and I was sat in my car in the car park and I was having a bit of a moment. And I was talking about uni, and I was talking about how overwhelmed I was with the workload and the sudden intensity of it, because I'm a mature student, you know. As of filming this, I'm currently 32. I had to think about that then. But I'm a mature student compared to some of the others, and I've not been in education for well over 15 years, and it was all very much like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because when I finished college at the tender age of 18, I never went to uni. You know, I was like, nah, forget that, forget education, I'm not going. So I never went to uni, so I've never had like the uni experience until now as a mature student. So having a big gap in between education, it was like, wow, this is different, you know. So it was a major adjustment. And in that moment when I was filming that, I was going through a period where I was kind of doubting my ability, you know, and I was doubting the reason why I was there. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, you know. I'm like, I can't do this. There was a lot of negativity, I'll be honest. It was a lot of I can't, rather than I'm exactly where I should be, so I can do it, you know. So in that moment, I was like, I can't do this. It's very intense. It's too much. I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. But there was also a lot to factor in that moment, because the work was a lot. Work was a lot. You know, the kind of job that I've got. If you're watching this and you know me, you'll know the job I've got. And it's let me try and say it politely. It's very intense, and it doesn't need to be, for various reasons. But that was reaching its pinnacle, you know. That was reaching its point where I was like, listen, I can't focus at uni. I can't give my all to this course because work is just coming, and I'm like, you know. And it was reaching a point where I was struggling to balance, and there was a lot of times where I didn't go in because of work, you know. Not because I went to work instead, but because of what work was doing to me. And I was waking up on the uni days and I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I can't go. I don't have the capacity to learn right now, you know. And The first year was kind of like this, when it should have been like this. And I openly admit that I could have managed it better. I could have managed it better. I could have also listened to the people around me that were saying, you can do this, you're exactly where you should be. Think of how long you've waited to go here. Because what I've not told you is, it must have been when I want to say about 22 maybe. I actually went and did an open day at the uni that I attend currently, and I walked around it and I was like, this place is mint. I want to go here, because it's a sound. It's especially words. It's a specially curated sound school. It's an old commercial studios turned into like a uni campus. So all it is basically like practical sound stuff, so like stuff to do with musicians, sound engineering, live audio engineering, audio mixing, DJs. It's a specialized school, and I was like, I want to go here, and I couldn't make it happen at the time because finances. And then we got into this job. I've had this job in 2.5 years, something like that. I don't know, I've lost track. But the opportunity came up again, and I was like, I can actually go here. I can actually go here now. And so I started the process, and I got in. I was like, no, I never got in. This is amazing. And then, so it's supposed to be a 5-year course. I'm supposed to be doing it part-time whilst working. And we did the first year. Here we are. Here we are. So yeah. But based off that first year, I was ready to go into year 2 with a different mindset. I was ready to go in like, okay, I know what I need to do better. I need to fully immerse myself in it. I need to devise a way of learning so that I can take on the knowledge and it stays with me. And I was ready. I was ready to tackle it. But then I was not allowed to go. And it started out as I was not allowed to go whilst I was off sick, because I was off sick long term for about let's be nice and round it up and say 5 months I was off sick. And they told me I couldn't go because I was off sick. Then it shifted to a different reason, which I won't go into because it's the internet and that's not fair. But because I'm mainly filming this for myself, you know the reason, and that's okay. You don't need to put it on here. But basically, it was like halted, which is why I'm trying to fix the situation. So I've kind of delved into a little bit of the reason, the what the school is. If you don't know, I'm studying to be a live sound engineer and an audio engineer, because what I want to do is I want to be a studio engineer and I want to be a touring sound engineer. So that's my dream. That's my dream career, amongst other things. But that is my dream career. I like music. Music lives within me. So that's the goal. That's the dream career, if you will. It's an ambitious goal to have. With some of the things that I want to do, to be able to produce music and engineer music and mix music as well as tour as a live sound engineer is ambitious. And I'm sure a lot of people in the industry would tell you that you should really pick one or the other, but I'm not a lot of people in the industry. I like a challenge. I like to do what people tell me I can't do. If someone says, you can't do that, I just say, watch me. So that's the goal, really. That's the goal, is to ultimately do that. So to give you a kind of summary of the first year was heavily focused on live sound, setting up a band, setting up a stage, sound checking a live venue, learning more about what sound is, frequencies, everything to do with sound that was in depth, things you wouldn't even think of, things that I was like, no way. I was like, well, so much to sound, and I was just like, I didn't have a clue about this. And then there was a lot to do with studio stuff as well, because obviously the course is live sound and audio engineering. So the audio engineering is about being in the studio. Live sound is self-explanatory. It was intense at times, I won't lie. There was also an element to it where my mind was overcomplicating things that didn't need overcomplicating, like assessments, stuff I knew. And my brain was like, I can't do this, it's too complicated. And I was like, no, it's not. So there was an ongoing battle with myself a lot of the time, where the simplest of tasks needed to be completed. And I was like, I can't do that, that's too hard. So there was a lot of that, to be honest, I won't lie. So as far as the studio side of things, I know I could have done a lot better than that. That was the thing that intimidated me the most. When you sat, like, don't get me wrong, when I see a gigantic sound desk, my eyes light up. I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? I'm like, let me touch it. But when you're faced with it and you have to use it, and you're being taught to use it, and it's like there's so many steps involved, and I'm like, this is very overwhelming. So the studio stuff, especially to me, was very overwhelming. It just wasn't going in. The stuff just wasn't going in, and I was like, dear, I'm gonna fail this. And I wasn't feeling hopeful and positive about the studio side. The live sound stuff, somewhat okay, because I do it every week, really. I try to do it every week. But the studio stuff, I was like, this, you know what I mean? I was like, you're intimidating me. So when it comes to the studio side of things, I could have definitely done a lot better. I could have found a way that would have helped me learn better, And the thing is, these studios, you can book them as well, as long as the time slots are available. So as students, you get credits, you get a certain amount of credits to book these studios. So I could have done that, but because I was sandwiching my uni course in between 3 days of intense work, it was like, tell me when I get the time to do that. That's the only thing that bugged me about the first year, was like, tell me when I get the time to go in and do that, other than my uni days, because I think one day we started at like 2, and one day we started at 1, I think I want to say, I can't remember. So the only time I would have got to do stuff is in the morning of my uni days. And, on a good day, it's about half an hour, 40-minute drive, depending on traffic, from here to Manchester. So there was a lot of that to factor in. So I was finding it very, like, I was like, I can't, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. And then, we kind of had like a full like mental collapse in, let me have a look now, July, second week of July, I think, was where it got too much at work, and my brain just went, it just collapsed, mentally collapsed, and I was off sick, and I've only been back at work for a month. Like 4-week phase return has just finished before Christmas. So I was like, oh dear. And then obviously they said I couldn't go whilst I was off, due to start the second year in September. So there was no more of that. So that's how that ended. There's also an element where I set myself very high standards, and this applies across the board. So if you notice from my other content, I know it's been a while, but I'm at the gym at the moment. We've achieved some big things, which I will go into in another video. Like I said, I've got about 4 videos to wrap up this year before we knuckle down, which I will go into another video, and that's a side thing. But I have very high standards of myself. So if I am doing a sound check, I want the sound to be the best. And other people around me can be like, it sounds fine, and I'm like, no, it's not right. And I understand that's my perception, but that's just what I'm like. When I'm in the gym, if I want something, I don't stop until I get it. Just to give you a bit of a sneak preview of what another video is that's going to come up. I got a personal goal on the Saturday before Christmas of 150 kilo deadlift for 2 reps. That's my new PB, and I've worked for about 3 months or something to try and get to that, if not longer. I've been constantly at it, like, I'm gonna get this. So I'd set myself that standard and I did it, and that applies across the board. So I know that I am capable of so much more, but there was also part of the year, partly the reason why I probably didn't do as well as I wanted to do. Partly the reason why I didn't do as well as I wanted to do in that year is because I put the pressure on myself to do far better than I actually had to do. Does that make sense? So if I would have just stopped panicking and focused up better, I could have done far much more. Because that's the problem was I couldn't really relax into it. I couldn't like sit into it. You know, I was constantly like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I need to do that. I need to do that. That's not good enough. You know what I mean? And it's just like kind of put a spanner in my own works by doing that. So as a bit of a summary, I could have done better for those reasons, you know. And also, I wasn't immersed enough. I could have immersed myself more upon reflection, but also the point of what I mentioned earlier about work kind of being intense in times didn't allow me to immerse myself enough in the course as much as I'd like to. So there was many stress factors involved in the first year. So I want next year to be different. I feel like we need a different strategy moving forward, and I do have big plans for 2025, which again is a separate video. So that's pretty much just a summary of my first year at uni that I've only just got around to filming when I finished it like 6 months ago. But that should tell you what's going on. That tells you how busy I've been, and you know, the kind of thing. So on a bit of a side note, I've noticed that the last video was actually filmed, well, it was actually uploaded about 11 months ago, which is almost a year ago. And partly the reason why I've not been able to upload is because my PC is basically dead. You know, it takes about 6 months to wake up properly, and I just know that if I try and edit a video on it now, it's just gonna go and it's gonna get fried completely, and I don't want to do that because I've got stuff on it that I need to get off. But it's finding the time to do that and allowing it to boot up, you know, because genuinely it takes a long time. It takes a long time. So I need a new PC. That's one of the goals. I need to build a new PC, which I can have for editing videos. For now, I'm just gonna have to use my laptop, which is fine. I can do that. So for the time being, I will use my laptop because I have big plans for 2025. I can't speak. Because I have big plans for 2025. So like I explained earlier, I was off sick for nearly 5 months. That was another reason why I didn't do anything, because I didn't have the mental capacity to do anything, you know. It was only towards the back end of my sickness that I actually decided to start uploading on TikTok again. And I've been consistently uploading on TikTok for about 3 months, up to this point, 2 to 3 months, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying the process over there. And it's teaching me a lot. It's teaching me consistency. It's teaching me to manage my time if I want to do this properly. You know what I mean? It's helping me a lot. So yeah, a big reason why I didn't upload to here was because of the sickness. And then because TikTok is fairly easy to upload to, I started doing that, and I was like, oh, I'm finally in a headspace to enjoy it again, you know? So now, like I say, I'll cover it in another video, but you can expect, do I say it now? Oh, you can expect regular uploads on this channel. I know I've said that before, but I mean it this time. So yeah, it bothers me a little bit, you know, that I let everything overcrowd me to the point where it squashes my passion for this. Because I literally don't have the capacity to do this when everything's on top of me. So it annoys me that I allow that, because I can actively have a choice to not allow that to happen. You know, I can actively choose to shut all of that out and say, no, you're annoying me, but I'm not going to let you stop me doing what I want to do, which is this. So it bugs me a bit that I let that happen. But with that being said, this time next year, I want to be in a vastly different place. With this, with everything, with my situation, you know, I want to be in a unrecognizable place. Because now is the time. Now is the time to really get my head down and get stuck in with this proper, good and proper. Next year is about breaking the cycle. I'm sick of being stuck in the same loop over and over again, where I upload once or twice and then it's like, oh, you don't see me for a year. Then I come back and make a video like this and go, oh, it's been a while. Shut up, mate. Shut up with you. It's been a while nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I annoy myself, bro, and I don't want that to happen anymore. Enough is enough. Time to break the cycle. That's my theme for the year 2025, breaking the cycle. Because I've made a lot of connections on TikTok now, so if I don't upload to here, I'm not only letting myself down anymore. There are other people involved, and I hate the thought of letting people down. So that, in theory, should force me to be consistent with it. Because if I'm not, then I look bad to other people. Because there's things been talked about, and so I let other people down if I don't upload consistently. So that's pretty much it, to be honest. I genuinely do wish I had more to give you on the uni situation, but to paraphrase, we got to my dream uni, started my dream course, and then it was a bit of a rocky road. We completed the first year, and then we stopped because that situation was out of my control. Is the summary of everything. But I'm telling you now, next year the situation will be resolved, and maybe something will have to give in order for me to continue with uni. But that's okay, because we will continue with uni. I'm telling you now, we will continue with uni. There ain't no two ways about it, because that's exactly where I should be, and there's nothing going to get in the way of that. I've got a good feeling about next year. It's going to be a big year. I just feel it. I just feel like it's going to be a big year. Like, I do get excited around this time every year because I set my goals and I get really in the mindset of doing it and going like, yeah, I'm ready for the next year. I can't wait. But there's something different about this feeling that I've got now about next year. It just feels like 2025 is going to be massive in so many ways. In so many ways you don't even know. So I'm excited. So if you want to see what's coming, you know what to do. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. That's entirely your choice. There's a button down there somewhere. You can choose to click it if you want to. But just know that there are big things coming to this channel next year. And we just be prepared to see amazing things. That's all I'm saying. So I got big plans for this channel. I'm in the process of completely overhauling it, completely rewriting everything and my vision for it and the goals for it, which I'm nearly done. So as of next year, I'm not going to say anymore. I've got a trailer in the works that will be live next year at some point in January. I would want to say it's the 1st of January, but I know that's probably not going to happen. So at some point to reborn to rebirth this channel in January, there will be a trailer that will be released. So keep lookout for that. So I have got content planned for this channel. Some of it's filmed, some of it's not. As of Christmas 2024, which is this day, I can't speak today. We're going in a completely new direction with it to what the intended purpose of this channel was when I set it up. There will still be like the underlying tone of the reason that I set this channel up 7 years ago, because it's been 7 years, right? Imagine what we could have done in 7 years if I just got my head down and give it a wobble and got stuck in with it, So we're going to go in a different direction now, and I kind of feel like this is like my make or break moment, This direction that we're going and this complete overhaul is like my last hoorah with this channel. Do you know what I mean? If nothing happens with this channel now in 2025, then it will literally just become my personal diary and everything will be privated. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is the moment that we try it, and if it doesn't work, then at least we've tried. So I want to do more in this next year than I've done in 7 years with this channel. I know it's ambitious, but trust me, everything up here is locked in. It's locked in, bro. We're gonna do it. you want to see what I've been up to on TikTok, feel free to follow me on TikTok. The description will be full of my information. Nearly couldn't get that out then. I've been doing a lot of like daily gym vlogs on there, amongst other things, and it's been so much fun to do. Like, I've got a new camera, which is what you're being recorded on right now, which is a full review will be coming next year of that camera. And it's not been out of my hand. It's literally been in my hand all the time. And I'm loving the messing around stuff on TikTok at the minute. It's a lot of fun. So if you want to follow me over there, it will be in the description. Same with Instagram if you want to see like behind the scenes stuff and what I've been up to. Description box, bro. Other than that, it's been good to catch up with you, and I will see you very soon. Take it easy. Don't know why I did that. See you in a bit.